Hello, this is Nick Roach again. Today I'd like to talk about responsibility. Now, many people, let's say, will regard themselves as being responsible for some things and not others. To me, I'm responsible for my life, my entire life. Everything that I experience, I am responsible for. But then that's because I've realised there is only one being here, and the space one feels within, the space inside them, the space you're feeling now where you're aware that you exist, that is the one being. There is only one, and that is it. And everything that experienced, everything that occurs within the space that you are. Here, within this being that you are. So with everything occurring within the space, the one space that you realise you are, that I've realised I am, that space is responsible for everything that is created, for everything that occurs. And I've realised that space as me, my true self, my true being. And that makes me responsible for everything. But that's not the same as being to blame for something. Being responsible doesn't mean someone's to blame, because there is no blame in anything. Everyone, the only one, but everyone is just doing their best and doing what they can. No one is to blame, but the individual is responsible for the circumstances of their own life. In practical terms, first of all, one learns to give up one's right to feel a certain way. And a teacher, my teacher, Barry Long, used to say this quite a lot. We must give up our right to be unhappy, our right to be angry. What does that mean? Well, it means if someone does something to you and you feel a certain way, and someone might say, don't feel that way, you might go, but I have a right to feel like this because they did that to me. That's what we're talking about. That holding on, the belief, I should, I must, and I will defend my right to feel like this. So when one is prepared to give up their right to feel a certain way and say, yes, this has happened, and yes, I will deal with it, I will take action, but I will also deal with it inside me because I don't want this discomfort in me. I will deal with this, I will not accept it. I don't care what's happened outside, the feelings are in here and I don't accept them. I don't accept being unhappy or angry. Then blaming somebody else for making me feel this way, which means I'm stuck with it. They've got all the power. They've made me feel this way and there's nothing I can do. Well, there is. And the first thing is to say, I don't accept unhappiness in me, bad feelings in me. I don't accept it. And that's when we come to what I discussed in the previous week about dissolving emotions. Being conscious, being aware, being still, holding the emotion inside, but not going to the imagination, and the emotion dissolves, and eventually it's gone. Connected to that situation. So I am responsible first of all for what I feel, for my emotions. when I can't be blamed when they first arise, and there they are, a reaction, but the next moment I'm responsible for how I deal with them. Whether I let them take me over and I rant and rave or get all upset and I'm blaming the outside situation for it, or do I hold it still? I'm not keeping this inside me, I'm not having it, I get rid of it. So I'm responsible for what I feel. Now the next step is a bigger step, and I ask you just to listen, but not to believe me. Because even if you believe me, I still might be wrong, let's say. So you could be believing something that's wrong. So I don't want you to believe me, just hear it and see if it becomes true for you in your own experience. I said in an earlier recording that inside, the energy that creates the emotions is the same energy that creates the external circumstances of one's life. So when something happens outside and I become emotional about it, to me, Nick Roach, I know that the energy that creates the discomfort, the emotion, because everything is one and everything is the being that I've realised I am, that energy in the emotion is the same energy that created the external circumstances to bring up the emotion. They are one and the same. It is not the emotion out, the situation out there creates emotion in here. It is the same energy, one and the same. And as there's only one being, which I've realised as myself, anyone can do it, so I'm not special. But I've realised the space, the being where this is occurring as myself, and the energy comes up, creates an emotional circumstance, and I know it's still within my own being that's creating the outside. I am responsible in that sense for everything that occurs in my life. I'm responsible for what I feel, I'm responsible for what happens and how I feel about it. It's all within me, the space that I am, and by being conscious and aware as much as I can, I am dissolving the energy that's creating the difficult situations outside of me. I'm responsible. But again, I'm not to blame, no more than anybody else is, because this is the game. When one is asleep in bed and they're dreaming, and I experience this place as a dream, when one is in bed asleep dreaming, it is the unconscious mind creating the dream. Now most people would not say you are to blame for what you're dreaming about. And most people would not say you are to blame for what you do and how you act in that dream. Because you're dreaming. How can you help it? You're just acting in the dream. And that is actually what we're doing here. We think we're awake. We think this is separate. We think this is real. But there's only one. One being, one mind, one higher self, one cosmic consciousness, universal mind, God, God realization, self-realization, being awake, all these terms. It means realizing that I am this. This, to me, external, this physical environment is my own self, to me. This place, everything I experience outside, is myself. I'm not special. You can realise it as yourself. There's only one. But to me, this is myself. And I'm learning and growing, experiencing my own being through this dream of separation. Thank you.